From the home of the reigning NCAA Women's Soccer National Champion, Florida State University, I'm David Peters, and this is the Open Division Lottery Draw for the 2022 NIRSA National Soccer Championships. Nearly 100 teams will converge on Round Rock, Texas next month for the 2022 NIRSA National Soccer Championships. And coming up, we'll announce half of the field of teams, our 48 Open Division squads, 24 men's and 24 women's, who will battle for 2 of the 4 national titles the weekend of November 17th through the 19th. The NIRSA Championship Series is part of NIRSA, the Association for Collegiate Recreation Programs at colleges and universities all across North America. And from flag football to basketball, tennis to soccer, the NIRSA Championship Series provides premier championship experiences delivered by qualified experts within a safe and inclusive environment. This year's NIRSA National Soccer Championships will once again feature those 2 divisions. Our Open Division, for which we have those 48 teams we'll select today, and our Championship Division, in which 48 more teams will qualify through regular season and regional tournament action in the coming weeks. Let's take a look at the breakdown of teams in today's Open Division lottery and the available bids by region. Each of our 6 regions receives 4 bids for men's teams and 4 bids for women's teams. For the draw, teams are placed in the region that they played during the regular season, which may differ from the NIRSA region in which the school is normally found. The first 4 teams drawn today from each of NIRSA's 6 regions will be entered into the Open Division tournament. We will draw all of the remaining teams in the lottery process to create an ordered wait list of alternates. Teams that receive an Open Division lottery bid today and then qualify later this fall for the Championship Division will have their entry fee and registration automatically transferred over to participate in the championship bracket, and their spot in the Open Division will be made available for the next team on the region's waitlist. Teams that receive bids that become unavailable to attend will also open up spots for waitlist teams, and team representatives are contacted by NIRSA when spots open up. It's about time to get the draw started today. To help me out, I'm joined by FSU Campus Recreation staff members Ian Michael and Evan Eisenstart. Let's talk about how the draw is going to work. Everyone who was entered in today's draw was printed on a card just like this. You'll see Tennessee. That card also has Tennessee on the back so that I can read it, and it's placed inside a security envelope like so. The security envelope has nothing on it except for on the back you'll see that we have the region and the division, either men's or women's. That just helps us keep the envelope straight. We will put all of the envelopes into this basket, shuffle them all around, and we will then pull them out, and you'll see the draw as it goes along. Now you can follow along with all the draw, the complete details. You'll find that online at nirsaplay.com. For this year's draw, we'll start with the women, and we'll be going for the West Coast to the East Coast. That means we're starting with Region 6. And here in the women's draw, we have 8 teams that are registered in Region 6. That'll be 4 bids and then 4 alternates. So I'm going to mix those up, drop them into the basket, and we'll get started. And we begin in the draw with our first bid going to Oregon. That is followed by Cal Berkeley, Arizona, and our last bid will go to Boise State. All right, let's get our alternates down for the wait list. Wait list spot number 1 in Region 6 to UCLA, followed by UC Santa Barbara, Southern Cal, and finally Montana State. Let's look at the women's for region number 6. On to region number 5 now for the women, 7 teams. So that's 4 bids and 3 alternates. Here those are. So we'll drop them back into the basket, give them a little shuffle, and begin here in region 5. With Air Force, Colorado State, Colorado, and finally in region number 5, the 4th bid to Iowa State. Let's take a look at those alternates now. Wait list spot number 1 to Northern Colorado, followed by Colorado School of Mines and Minnesota. All right, last stop here in our first segment. We'll go to the 4th region, Region 4 for the women. We have 8 bids here, 8 teams, 4 bids, and then 4 alternates. So here go those 8 into the basket. And we'll begin with Arkansas, Kansas. Kansas State. And the fourth bid to Missouri. Here is our wait list now in region number 4. Oklahoma State. Texas Tech. New Mexico. And finally in region 4, Baylor. That's a look at regions 4, 5, and 6 for the women. Here's a recap. All right, we'll switch over to the men's side of the draw now and back to the West Coast. Region 6 will be first. We'll do regions 6, 5, and 4 coming up. And let's start here with region 6. 5 teams in the draw, so we'll have 4 bids and a single alternate that will come out of this draw. So here are those 5 as we put them into the basket. And start with, in region 6, Cal Berkeley. Oregon. Cal Poly. And finally, in Region 6 for the men is UCLA, which leaves the lone waitlist team, Boise State. And that is Region 6 for the men. On to Region 5, 6 teams here, so we'll have 4 bids and 2 alternates for the men in Region 5. And we will get started in Region 5 with Iowa State, Colorado College, Utah Valley, and Colorado receives the 2 alternates to Minnesota and Arizona. Let's look at Region 5 for the men. And Region 4, just 5 teams in this draw as well, so we'll have 4 bids making it and 1 alternate out of this group. Throw them in and get going. Region 4 will begin with Kansas, LSU, Oklahoma State, Texas. And the alternate in Region 4 will be Missouri. And that's a look at Regions 4, 5, and 6 for the men. Here's a recap. Back over to the women's draw now, and to the Midwest, we'll go to Region 3, followed by 2, and then 1. In the Midwest, we have 11 teams in Region number 3 for the women, so here they all are. Back into the basket they go, and we will shuffle around a bit and start this off. First bid in Region 3 for the women to Central Michigan, Dayton, Cincinnati, and finally, Butler. For the rest of our region, in number 3, first alternate goes to Notre Dame, Grand Valley State, Purdue, Illinois, Miami of Ohio, Western Michigan, and the last team in Region 3 is Xavier. All right, down to the south now, and Region number 2, where we have 9 teams in the draw, so that's 4 bids and 5 alternates. Into the basket they go. And in Region 2, for the women, we'll start with Miami of Florida. And then UCF. Georgia Southern. And our last team with a bid in Region 2 is William & Mary. Let's go to our alternates now. James Madison, Tampa, East Carolina, Virginia Tech, and the last team here in women's for Region 2 is Florida Atlantic. All right, up to Region 1 now, the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic states. 13 teams in this draw. So again, just the 4 bids. We'll have 9 alternates. So into the basket they go. Region number 1 starts with Penn, Vermont, UMass Amherst, and the 4th spot to Cornell. And now our alternates here in Region number 1, they will include UConn, Penn State, Northeastern, Quinnipiac, Towson, Boston College, Fordham, Syracuse, and Springfield College. Now let's look at the women's side for Regions 1, 2, and 3. Here's a list with all the recap. All right, to finish it up, we'll go back to the men's side for Regions 3, 2, and 1. So the Midwest with 10 teams in this draw. So 4 bids and 6 alternates into the basket. And we will start with Cincinnati, Miami of Ohio, Ohio State, and finally in Region 3, the 4th bid to Purdue. Alternates here in Region 3 for the men will include Illinois, Ohio University, Kent State, Xavier, Grand Valley State, and finally, Michigan. That's a look at Region 3. On to Region 2 now. Again, just 5 teams in this one, so another small draw, 4 bids, 1 alternate here in Region number 2. Into the basket they go. And in Region 2, for the men, we will start with Tampa, Virginia Tech, Florida Gulf Coast, and the 4th bid to VCU, which means our alternate here in Region 2 will be James Madison. And last but certainly not least is Region 1. 23 teams are in this draw. 4 bids again, 19 alternates. I would, however, remind our Region 1 teams that you may have noticed already in Regions 2, 4, and 6, there's just 1 alternate. So if we run out of waitlist teams in another region, we'll come back to Region 1. So there's an additional chance, perhaps, to get in. So just keep attuned to the phone and the email that you might receive from NIRSA if you're on the wait list. But let's figure out who's going to get the bids first here in Region 1. Again, 23 total teams into the basket here. 4 bids for the men in Region 1. And the first bid to UMass Amherst. That's followed by Boston College. Penn. And finally the 4th bid to Cornell. All right, let's get that ordered wait list going. First up, Springfield College. Stony Brook. Yukon. Temple. New Haven. Vermont. Yale. Boston University. Penn State. Boston College. Quinnipiac. Towson. Carnegie Mellon. Fordham. Connecticut College. Johns Hopkins. Northeastern. Maryland, Baltimore County. And finally, Adelphi. And that's a look at the men's side in Regions 1, 2, and 3. Here's that entire list on screen now for this year's championships. And that's the draw. For those of you who are watching and listening closely, you probably noticed that it was Babson College, the second selection there for the men in Region 1, not Boston College. Boston College will be an alternate down the list. So Babson, you're in for the men in Region number 1. It's time to wrap things up with some key information now for our team captains and a look at this year's National Championship Tournament venue in Round Rock, Texas.
For teams that received a bid today, team representatives, either the club president or team captain, will receive an email later today, that's Thursday, October 6th, with more information about the tournament, including team and player eligibility standards. Teams that received a bid have until Thursday, October 13th to accept their bid and complete their team's registration online at imleagues.com. Final team rosters are due by Friday, October 28th, and enrollment verification forms are due Tuesday, November 15th. But teams, again, must accept their bid and start that registration process online by next Thursday, that's October the 13th. If your team representative does not receive that email, please visit our website at nirsaplay.com and click on Soccer to contact our staff for assistance. Regional tournament action takes place around the country in October, culminating with the National Championships in Round Rock, Texas, November 17th through 19th. Here's a look at the Round Rock Multipurpose Complex as NIRSA Soccer makes its second trip to this impressive venue for the National Championships. Round Rock is just north of Austin, Texas. You can get travel tips and more information online at nirsaplay.com.
Heading into regional play, NIRSA thanks its soccer regional coordinators. The series also thanks Sylvain Shepchet, Max Miller at Swarthmore College, Chris McAlpine at UT Dallas, and Laurel Hanna at the University of Michigan. They lead dozens of NIRSA members in making our soccer championships successful. Join us for a special podcast this November after the championship division is finalized. We'll reveal the teams in each of the pools for pool play and preview the entire field of teams for this year's national championships. I'll be joined by my colleague Marty Dempsey and other NIRSA soccer leaders from around the country to get you ready for the tournament. You can visit our website at nirsaplay.com or follow us on social media at NIRSAChamp for the date and time of our preview show and coverage of all the tournament action coming up this fall. But that's it for now. For the NIRSA Championship Series, I'm David Peters. Good luck to our teams in regional play, and we hope to see many of you in Round Rock, Texas in November for our 28th annual NIRSA National Soccer Championships. This is a production of NIRSA, Leaders in Collegiate Recreation.